Welcome back to the SMT YouTube channel. In today's video, I just want to give you guys some news. It's huge, it's massive, incredibly earth-shattering for the industry. Like, that's not an exaggeration, I'm being serious. It's going to impact a lot of people's lives. Alright, so I had to make this video. Anyways, here's the news, and then I'm going to give you guys my take and how I see things. So the news here is that the FCC is now open to comment in regards to, I guess we'll call it new rules or modified rules for legacy, copper, old network infrastructure removal and rebuilding. This is basically the premise that old legacy telco technologies, think DSL, copper, stuff that doesn't, work well, is difficult to maintain, costly, expensive, and just not adequate anymore. And in fact, in some instances, parts and materials to rebuild and manage and fix aren't even really available like they used to be. Also, within this open comment, this is about faster network upgrades. This is about infrastructure building. We're talking about billions of dollars in revenue streams for the entire connectivity industry, and actually for folks who have not been able to access high capacity connectivity options. For example, those of you out there that don't have fiber options, that have been seeing obstacles in cable operators, that have not been able to get to your part of the state or the county in a fashion that's good for business and then good for customers. These problems could be mitigated here with this particular legislation, or I guess rules changes. The way I see this is very simple. I was listening to the call from the AT&T executives, and they spoke very glowingly of the FCC in regards to deregulation for the industry and removing barriers of network building, operations, and things that make their jobs easier to do, things that make their businesses have higher upside. Now, I have no problem with the businesses winning as long as people are also winning. I do have a problem with businesses winning while hurting people. This would be a situation where if it's done properly and negotiated properly and structured properly, people don't have to lose in this. They can win. So, if the FCC is able to remove connectivity infrastructure barriers and can allow the builders, the network builders, to better build, to better decommission, and not create a gap of connectivity. So what I'm saying is, like in the case of California, where everybody has like this copper DSL that can't be decommissioned because it's like the primary connectivity, like in the case of an emergency and all the problems that they have in California, natural disasters, power failures, fires, all those things. But if the FCC structures this properly, and there are penalties for not following through by the businesses, obviously they'll avoid the violations. It's rip and replace if they do it right. But this has to be structured properly. So I'm going to make sure that I put that in there. There's currently an open comment submission portal for you to make these comments for the FCC, and I think you really should. And I think the approach here should be, people need connectivity, want connectivity, reliable, dependable, available, and scaling across the country. And if this allows them to facilitate this, the companies building them and maintaining them, then I'm all for it. But we are not going to just let companies decommission. They need to decommission and rebuild. This needs to be a rebuild opportunity, not a decommission opportunity. I'm going to stand by that. I'm going to stand with the companies if they destroy and rebuild. I am not going to stand by the companies that destroy and then move. We're not going to play that game. But this is huge. T-Mobile's building fiber. AT&T is building fiber. Verizon is building fiber. Many companies have this old legacy technology and materials that just simply cannot be supported anymore. Fiber is now the opportunity. Hell, even if it ends up as fixed wireless access, whether it's temporarily or in the midterm, as a solution, It's all better than the legacy infrastructure. These changes need to happen, and they really should happen. I'm all for this. Need the FCC to execute it, and I need people out there, including yourselves, to go to that open comment portal and make sure that they understand what you want in your position. If the FCC is indeed for the people, if they actually do their job, that should be our stance. That should be how they proceed moving forward. I'm not in the business of deregulating for the sake of deregulating. The only way we need to deregulate is actually by properly regulating. Only stand in the way of the companies for the things that they're doing wrong. The things that they do right or facilitate progress, we should not be an obstruction. Hold them accountable, punishment, penalty in tow if it's called for. Structure it contractually. Structure it and enforce the rules. Bite and not just bark. This can be done. This can happen. Let's see if the FCC does it. Let's see if you guys can get your voices heard on that portal. Go ahead and drop your comment. And drop your comment here. And hopefully I inspired you to maybe do something about this, because I've heard you all. A lot of people have been waiting for connectivity options and they haven't gotten it. This is an opportunity for that. Let me know what you guys think. Drop me some comments, like, share, subscribe. Check out some more videos. We'll see you guys soon on the next video.